Okay, pilots, I got another box. I ordered this from General Hobbies. That's right, pilots, General Hobbies. I mean, I got to get my Dynam planes from somewhere. And General Hobbies sells no parts, sells no accessories, sells nothing but the plane, and you're on your own, okay? Pretty much, okay? So if you order something from General Hobbies, you will get what you ordered, unless they text you later and say they can't find it, it's out of stock, or try to find you something else. If you tell them no, you don't want nothing else, they'll give you your money back. But as far as parts, and if you tell them a servo don't work, I'm sorry. So it's just the way it is with General Hobbies. But they do have a good selection of planes, and they got a good price. Got a good price. But I've ordered this Dynam plane as a project, because usually Dynam's pilots, I mean, you got to show them some love. Yep, you got to show them some love. Let's see if I can get this thing out here. I got it upside down. No more damage to it than might be already. Let me do this. Let me get this out here. I don't want to hit my new A10. It's sitting over against the wall. I got to take it back down to Joe Nall Thursday. Me and the guy that I bought it from, we're going to set it up in my NX10 radio. I would do it myself, pilots. I mean, you know, I ain't stupid. I know how to set stuff up, but man, he's got that receiver upside down. He's got it mounted to the top of the fuselage and right inside the cockpit or canopy opening. He's got it upside down, Velcro to the top of it. So that receiver is going to be programmed to be upside down, and I don't know what it's going to do when it goes into a new radio. Is it going to keep that program? I don't know. But we're going to have to try it and see. But I digress. We're talking about a new project here. The Dynam F6F Hellcat. And it says here it's ready to fly, but I don't think this is the ready to fly version. It said on the box it's plug and play. They just kind of use the same box for all of them. Saves them some money. I mean, for crying out loud, you know, they ain't really the most quality model on the market, but you know, where can you get a F6F that ain't $900? Okay, where can you get a Hawker Hurricane that ain't $900? Okay, you know, there's just a couple planes that they make that nobody else makes. All right, now if you want those planes and you want an ARF or a kit or something, get ready. I mean, get ready. I've been to Nall this weekend, pilots. I've seen prices. Get ready if you want something like that. But if you just want something to throw together, and I'm literally mean, throw together and have fun with it. Okay? So let's see what we got. Yeah, you might run into a servo that don't work. But you know, I've opened up boxes of free wing and flatline and FMS, and servos didn't work. One servo that being a flap, but yet it'd go up and down like it was an aileron. You know, I mean, you know, you run into it all the time, pilots, all the time. All of them's the same. We got a prop here now. Dynam, they got a pretty stout prop, you know, but you might have to balance it. You might have to balance it. And Lord have mercy, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's it. And you know, 9 for this one. I got 9 Dynam props. Every once in a while you'll get you an extra one. Sometimes they'll give you even 2 extra ones. It just depends on who was packing the box that day. Dynam's instructions. Now, this is the only really thing I worry about. This right here is something to do with the ESC. That's trash because they usually trash the ESC that's in a Dynam. And it's showing you here. I'm gonna get her light on. I'm gonna start showing you some parts. But over here is the center of gravity. That's my most important thing I look for in instructions. And the Dynam instructions pilots just don't really get into a lot of detail. Now there's a little diagram showing decals where you'll put your decals. But as far as showing you exactly what to do and what to do and what screw goes where, now it will show you, I think it tells you up in this area sections here what screw goes where. You know. But you just got pictures of a wing being put together, you know. You got pictures of a tail being put together. Just don't really get into detail. But pilots, after you put about 100 of these things together, and don't sit there and lie to me, if you had the money, you'd have over 100. I mean, it's like second nature to you sometimes. The things that you're looking for is the problems. You come across a tail wheel that ain't turning. You know, some rod's broke, something inside there. Well, sometimes when that happens, you got to cut open a fuselage to get in there on the Dynams. So, I know a couple people that's have problems with their tail wheel not turning or not working correctly. Usually, I put a different tire on it because Dynam's tire on the tail wheel is just too flimsy. You don't really get a lot of control. This right here is our horizontal and vertical. Make sure nothing else is in there. Got it in an enclosed bag. Dynam likes to put their stuff in bags, but they put one or two things in the same bag. Come on, Dynam. You got to be careful about that because the paint will be sticking to it and you'll ruin a piece. And there you go. You done caused somebody else a headache. Take a little time and think about stuff like that. If you want to use the same bag, to put that in a bag and put it in the bag. We're crying out loud for the love of RC. Can't stand seeing two parts in the same bag rubbing all up against each other. Luckily, there ain't no big scar on it nowhere that's rubbed. This light blue parts, vertical. But the horizontal don't have a mark on it. I don't see nothing on it. Yeah, that's all it's supposed to be there. Okay. Then they'll put that little steel bar in there to connect the left and right aileron so that one rod can control both sides. You know, I mean, just that way. And then you want to exercise surfaces on Dynams and be careful. Be careful, kind of ease over it this way. And ease over it back the other way. Because these are foam hinges and they kind of thick, but they just, I don't know, pilots, maybe after 10 flights, if I was you, like I'm going to do, I'm going to be putting hinges in them. And I have seen them. Now, I'm not sitting here dogging Dynam pilots. I love Dynam. I got probably 20 of them, 20 different ones. But I'm just telling you, in case you buy one, don't be surprised if you pick your rudder, your vertical up and your rudder comes off of it. You know, don't be surprised. See, yep, exercise our surfaces a little bit. I mean, these planes pilots, when they first come out on the market, they was $180. And maybe they did make the same kind of planes as another, but that other plane was $300. You know, they got the market on the cheaper brand, cheaper quality, and coming out of China, you know what that is. You know, it's the poor man's toy. And I'm a poor man. I am now. I have went nuts this weekend, and this weekend coming, I've asked the boss man for my vacation pay up front, so I'll have 2 paychecks at the end of this week to take them all. Oh God. Oh God. 2 paychecks, pals. 2 paychecks. Alright, now here's a wing. It's also in plastic. And it's sealed up. You like seeing a sealed bag because that keeps dust and dirt and, you know, these things will sit on the shelf for a while. It ain't like they're moving them out in and out all day. I've got a box, Motion RC, maybe. I think it was Motion RC. I rubbed my crayon across the top of the box, and heck, it had an inch of dust on top of it. So, okay, now one different thing about this is the version 2. You can see it has flaps, installed flaps. Okay. But another thing on the version 2 was they're supposed to improve the landing gear, but pilots, I don't think they really done anything to the landing gear. They just made some adjustments here and there on the original one to get them to work better, because you don't see the number plate on here no more. Used to had a number plate on it. See, this rotates when it comes up. It rotates, so and it looks pretty tight. And sometimes you can grab a hold of a Dynam. Look here. See how it just moves back and forth like this right here? Let me get it so you can see it. I mean, you know, that might tighten up after the first, you know, operation. I don't know. But we've got our leads and pots. We got flaps. We got ailerons. We got retracts, and this plane has LEDs. And here recently, at least, they have been getting the right color at the right place. I mean, you know, but companies around the United States, they just can't deal with all these mess ups. You know, they can't put up with returns and bad servos, bad ESCs, and landing gear not working. You know, they just can't put up with that Dynam. So I can understand why some have stopped selling Dynam, and I can understand why some just refuse to sell it. But that wing looks in good shape to me. It's got all kinds of different panel lines in it. This wing here is going to be changed up a little bit. I'm not going to show you to you right now. I'm going to show it to you later. We're going to go ahead and look at the rest of the stuff. Of course, we've got another wing. We got a spar, we got a wing spar. Dynam puts a long wing spar on their wings. There's my Hurricane up there. Scratching my head. This one's in a plastic bag too, sealed up. It looks good. I mean, it's in good shape. There's no bad marks on it anywhere. Let me get rid of this knife before I put a bad mark in it. But that looks the same way as that one did. Installed flaps. Installed aileron. LED light. It don't look like they really went crazy with the glue. It looks pretty good. Done pretty good. Now, I might have a set FMS for this one, but I know I got one set for something else. And I'm going to add a few to my A10, but they're going to be the 3-wing type LEDs. Yeah, that wing's in good shape. In good shape. Okay. Small box here. Now usually this box right here has a controller in it and a battery sometimes too, but I think it's just gonna have our hardware. Yep. Another little decal sheet, our canopy cover, our pilot, a couple of wire harnesses, old Pilot Joe. I usually use the same pilot. And then we got a decal sheet. It's got a few other little, like a detailed instrument panel on it. And then we got screws in this bag. Now I don't think Dynam puts, I see something else in this one. That could be, now I have seen where Dynam will put a complete whole new set of screws in the box with it, about 2 pots. So that might be the screws for the model itself with some glue there, some machine guns, an antenna right here, and a tail wheel. But this other bag of screws might be a completely new, another set of screws. You know, sometimes Dynam will do that. I think nothing left in that box. Alright, we got a decal sheet. Now, Dynam just kind of uses stick-on types. They don't use the water decals. I've got to change, let me turn it upside right here. I've got to change my numbers. You can see it's got 19 on it. I don't know if you can see it's white there, but it's got the number 19 on it. And I've got the 19 on my other Hellcat. That's what the number I put. So I'm going to turn this one upside down somehow make it 16. I'll have to cut the numbers and turn them upside down, but change them on there, but that ain't nothing. And I mean, pilots, I use their decals. I mean, their decals nice and they stick good. Look here, look at those nice keels. Nice detailed Japanese flags there. But, you know, I use them. Alright, now we got a big long box here. See where's the motor shaft. Can't tell which end it's on. This is a 1270 millimeter wingspan. A bit bigger than those. But this plane was big, pilots. This plane was big. I don't know what down reasonable. This plane was huge. You could sit a Wildcat on top of it, and you know. But even though it was that big, the TBS Avenger was even bigger than it, bigger than the Wildcat. I'm gonna get me a TBS Avenger one day, Pops. The guy that's building my B-17, he's gonna get the 17 finished, and I've already seen plans for a TBF he's gonna be building. Gonna have an operating torpedo drop doors and folding wings. I'm gonna show you here in just a second. Make sure there ain't got nothing else in here. What I'm gonna be doing to this one. You sit still. There we go. There's a Dynam Hellcat fuselage. All the bags are sealed up, so it means that nobody opened it up and looked at it and put it back in the box. Canopy, already looked up, but it don't have the clear canopy on it. But I see something in the bottom of the bag. What is it? I'll get it on out here. Usually the cowl panel, I don't see any screws inside. The cowl panel has got magnets on it. Let's see if I make sure it don't fly off in too far here. Yep. Now, 1, 2, 3. I don't have one on the bottom, but that's more than what that other guy's had. His only had 2 on the sides, and his cowl would move around a lot. This one's got a 3rd on the top. If I can get over here without hitting anything. It's got a 3rd magnet in there on the top. Now, I seen the other guys had 1 on this side and 1 on this side. And, I mean, you know, they was glued in good, but they just didn't hold that cowl on there. So, evidently, Dynam was putting another right there. And that holds your cowl. Yeah, that holds on there pretty good. Because I think on my other one, I put a screw or something right here, put a piece of balsa up on it and put a screw in it right there at the top. Or I could have done it at the bottom. Alright. I don't see too much. There's a little indentation here. Let's see if you can see that. It's a small indentation right here. A little bit right here, just a little bit right there. That's where it was laid in that box, I tell you. Other models were put in foam so they don't move around. See, look at there. You can see it for a second. I mean, you gotta remember now, it's a Dynam. I'm trying to get you to see the little, just the little things. Where'd it go? Yeah, there it is, right here. Just the little things that you might see on a Dynam, that you usually don't see in others. Yep, just a couple of little places. Here's one here. But the paint looks good, nice and clean. Don't see no real bad dirty spot on the light colors. Sometimes you'll see a big old smudge or something, in other words. That looks in good shape. Looks in good shape. Let's put a canopy up in here. It's held on by magnets. Both those magnets stayed in and was glued good. Sometimes you pull the canopy off, you'll pull a magnet off with it. Now, they've been saying that they putting better ESCs. It's a Skylord. No, no, I put E-flat 40 amps in them. It's got the ET60 in it, but you got your rudder, elevator, and steerable tail wheel. Let's see. That's a throttle. Steerable tail wheel is just another rod hooked to the same servo that the rudder is on. That's the way Dynam does it. Now their motors are strong, pilots. I mean, you got to hand it to them. They put the power to them. They got some powerful motors in them. And that's a big old heavy hub, or it's a solid piece of steel, feels like. I mean, they're putting some nose weight on it there so that the 22 can fit down in that engine compartment up in here as far as you can get it. But usually I think my 3200 does it on this one too. My 3200 will balance the Hawker Hurricane, the Dauntless Dive Bomber, this one, I don't think it does it with the Tempest. I think the Tempest needs a bigger battery. I think I had to put a 4000 in that Tempest to get it to balance. But that's the way it is, pilots, you know. Sometimes you might even have to put weight in one to get them to balance out. That's nothing new. Let's look at her tail wheel. Steerable tail wheel. It looks like it's mounted straight in there. It's not flopping around too much. Sometimes it'll be in a cock, you know, where they just glued it in wrong. Another thing, sometimes this wing is mounted from the inside. You got to put your screws on through the inside. So screw mounts that are down in here might have been glued in wrong, crooked. The guy dropped it in there, you know, and it was wrong, but he didn't see it and left it and glued crooked. So you just got to make sure that all them little screw mounts that the wing goes through is in right. You make sure sometimes you can look through in here and you can see if one might be glued in crooked or something. But usually if you can see daylight from one end to the other, then your screw's gonna line up pretty good. Here's the other one way up here. Yeah, I can see daylight through both of them. But if you can't see daylight through them, get you a small rod and stick it down through in there and see if there might be some glue or something in there before you put your screw in. Here's a little air for cooling. And this vent, let's see, no, this one's not functional. The one on my other one was functional. It had a hole in it right there. Where this little vent is mounted, there was actually a hole up underneath that on my first version. Well, version 1, I guess. But yeah. It's a Dynam pallet. It's a Dynam. I like it. I like them. I love them. You can't have enough of them. Okay, the wing. Now this is going to be a little bit longer than your usual unboxing. The wing. The LX model F6F Wildcat has folding wings. There's the doors. The doors there. Let me get one of these open here. Folding wings. Now the Wildcat is not mechanically folding wings. You got to do it. You got to manually do it. But on their LX model Corsair F4U, its wings mechanically will move up. But these are manuals. So what my plans are. Let's see how much of a size difference it is first. Don't you look at our parts. Don't you look at it. That son of a gun didn't fall right on there. Just a little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm just letting you look at it here. See how much bigger the F6F is? Okay. So what I'm thinking is, see the little bit of a difference in the ends here on the wing tips. You got just a little bit more aileron right up here at the top than the Wildcat does on the end of the wing. But if you look down here to the end of this one, the Wildcat's aileron was bigger. It was bigger. Yeah. So this is all flat right here. Okay, remember that. Remember that. So when I put this thing together, if I got the folding wing, let me get this one out. Always. Now, like I said, it's close enough to me as far as size. I was worried to death. I thought that wing would be way too small, being shorter. The Wildcat is 1200 millimeters. Okay. Let's see if watch me. I won't have the right one. Nope, ain't got the right one. Okay, you got a pin action here. See the hinges? Yeah. And then you got your locking keyhole. And right here is where the lock shaft goes in, and you spin a little knob to loosen it, push the thing over and turn it and tighten it up. And then when you fold your wing back, you know, you got it back here like so, like something like this. You also got a hole in the wing right here that pin goes into to lock it when it's in the folded position. So So this thing is going to fit similar to this. You've got to do a little bit of sanding, a little bit of trimming to get those hinges to go in right and everything. I'm not going to be able to snap them in, but I was wanting to try to give them in so I can see the length. The length of this thing. Let's see here. Yeah. There we go. Now then. Okay. Why don't you look at that discoloration of that wing? Good Lord, thank God I'm painting it all. It's not two different colors. Look at that. Somebody painted one in green, the other blue. But anyway, I want to look at length here. Get that front end right there you go. Yeah. Okay, now, let me flip this over a little bit. Oh God. It's going to barely miss that landing gear. Nope, no, it's not going to miss it. That locking mechanism is going to be right there on that damn landing gear door or landing gear wheel. Okay. Yep. So that means pilots, that my Dynam might have just maybe. That much more wingspan in order for my fold to miss the landing gear, okay? Because what my plan is just make a straight cut right down through here in front of like on this side of the landing gear. Making that straight cut on that body line there. If you can see that line goes all the way through. And I'm just gonna butt it in using the carbon fiber rod that's in this wing and then cut it as far till I can get it into this one, you know. Because this wing here has got two carbon fiber rods going out this way in it for strength, you know. And I mean it locks up and everything pretty good, Pops. It works good on my F4. But that whole section of that wing right there is going to be put on right in front, alongside of the landing gear. Now the landing gear is going to be missing all this, but right here where this latch is going to be, my landing gear is going to be right there up against it. I might even have to shave this a little bit and see what's inside that, where I might have to shave that a little bit, make it just a little bit shorter. But you was looking at that much more wingspan, that much longer wingspan on the original wing. If I do this, but I mean, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to use that aileron. But on these flaps, since it's going to be pretty much cutting into them flaps, that ain't going to be good. Because, let's see here, the Wildcat didn't have flaps because of the folding wing there. But this, I know the real one, I don't know. I think the real one did have flaps, but I'm saying that this one didn't because of the folding wing mechanism. All right, now we'll see, that's going to be right there against that landing gear door. Yeah, now, all right, that servo here is right in the way. That's going to have to go. So there ain't going to be no more flaps. No more flaps. I'll have to take the flaps out. Bam. Let's see. What I might do, I might take this wing, these two wing sections, and put them in my other Hellcat, because my other Hellcat don't have flaps. And then I'll cut on my other wing, my original wing off of the old Hellcat. That's what I might do, just to keep from getting into these flaps. I believe I'm gonna have to do that, pilots. I might do that. I might change my wings out on my original Hellcat because it's flat right here. But that, if I can get that, I mean, pilots, all you got, you know, you got nothing but luck. Now let me see where that line's at. Let me see what I was looking at right there. Yep. Yep. Now that line lines up with that one. So literally, yeah, that panel line right there. I'm gonna have to use it all because of that latch. I sure am. Okay, let me show you something. Let me show you this panel line right here. This panel line. Come on. Okay, there's a panel line right here. All right, it goes down to right here and then crosses over with another one. That lines up. This is gonna fall apart. The shores will want to do this. That lines up with this panel line here that's going straight across there, all the way across down the wing. So that might be my lineup point, pilots. That might be my lineup point. Well, if I can get that front edge lined up, I'm just right there, lined up with that line. Let's get it lined up there. Yeah, that's gonna mess that landing gear completely on the other wing. I'm gonna have to use my other wing, and that's gonna give me, dadgum, look at that aileron almost lining up with that other aileron. If that dadgum servo, if I can move that servo, depending on where that, you got another thing you gotta be thinking about too is that carbon fiber rod. I mean, look here at the wingspan I'm gonna be giving it if I use that line. So what I might have to do is go to this next line. Okay. The next line would be there. I'll hold this up and see if you can see it. Alright. This body line right here, see this body line or panel line right here? It goes across, right across it. I might cut it there and see how much is up underneath this mount here and maybe cut that little block section out of the wing. Out of here, you know, somewhere close to that landing gear. Heck, I could probably get up underneath the landing gear with it because it is flush. It's nice and flush to it there. That would at least be up against the edge here if I have to possibly put it that far up. But I can go up to that next line and that'll give me that much more wingspan, a little bit shorter wingspan, another inch. It looks like that's about an inch in between them two panel lines. And that would give me the whole mechanism there, pilots, for the folding wing. See, I can take, well, I don't know. I might not use the Dynam servo that's in the other wing, the original wing of the other Hellcat I got, because I want to save this one. It's got the flaps. I want to try to save this one. I might have a couple of servos that I can use in it. Yeah, there's 1, 2. I don't have free wings, though. I don't have any more free wings. These are E-flats. They'll work. Yeah, them E-flats will work. They'll be okay. So I've got me a servo I can use. Alright, you also, when you order them parts for the folding wing, you got to order separately the little folding doors that goes on the bottom of the wing that covers. It covers that big gap right there, that big old hole. It's got springs on it that'll flop up there and cover it up. You got to order them separately. Can you believe that? But yet, the wing comes with all the screws And it also comes with the axle pins and also comes with that locking pin. So I ordered these from Banana Hobby. Ordered that plane from General Hobbies? Yeah, General Hobbies. So that's my project, but I've got so many going on, pilots. I'm wanting to go back down to Knoll here end of the week, Thursday, and get my A10 set up. And I've got a B-17 coming. This guy's gonna text me one day. It's just out of the blue. He's gonna text me and say it's ready. Send me a check. Let's see, what was the other things coming? That helicopter, Roach Coach Heli. Man, I don't know what in the hell Federal Express has done with my helicopter, man. I don't know. Let's see, what else is coming up? Pallets. I almost forgot to mention. Pallets. You have got to, let's see, what in the world was that? That was one of them screws off of something. Why is there two black screws? Oh goodness. I know what they might be now. Oh Lord. I hope I make them motor mount screws. Let me see here. Two black thick-headed screws. I don't like seeing two black thick-headed screws. That sounds like motor mounts. Let me get this a second. Well, that's pretty tight. Wait a minute. Yeah, no, it's pretty tight. Maybe that's just two extra screws, or maybe they're from something else. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. But pilots, I've been talking. If I pronounce his name wrong, I'm sorry, Paul, but Paul Bernard. Been talking with him, and I've picked out 5 planes off of his list there. Now, I told him that it's going to take me a week or 2 to come up with the money, because like 5 planes is going to be like $1,300. So I told him, if one of you pilots out there looks at that list and you see something you like, don't say, okay, Eric was wanting that and Eric was wanting that. No, don't do it. If you want the plane, you got the money, you call him up, you get it done. Okay? Because the man's needing to sell these planes before June, because he's moving about halfway across the country. Okay? So he just can't get all these planes moved. He'd rather sell them instead of trying to move them, turn them all up. And plus, he's wanting to get the money to buy new planes. I mean, hell, everybody wants to buy new planes. But I think it's Instagram you have to go. But if you'll go on to Jeff in Jeff in Lower Alabama, on his last chat show, Thursday night, he put that list up at the end of his show. About 10 minutes before the end of his show, he puts that list up. And man, he's got some nice planes, pilots. He's got some nice planes. He's got some of them 1600 millimeter Warbirds and 1700 millimeter P-51. Oh God, he's got, oh man, I can't afford to start getting them bigger ones. They're beautiful. They got more detail than these 1200s do, but I just ain't got the money and room to do it now. But he's got some other balsa planes, some ours, some, I think it's a Fly, X-Fly, A10. I think it's an X-Fly. Anyway, get on there and look at that list and help the brother out. Help us all out. I'm going to try to get you money to you, Paul, in a couple weeks, brother. I'm out.